In the beginning of Parshas Beshalach, the Torah tells us, "Vayikach Moshe es atzmos Yosef imo," and Moshe took the bones of Yosef, ki hashpeish be'el b'nei Yisrael lemor, because he made the b'nei Yisrael promise that when the Jewish people leave Mitzrayim, v'alisam es motzai mizeh, you take my bones with me. So Rashi points out, even though Yosef wanted to be buried in Eretz Yisrael like his father, because we know at the end of, or in the beginning of Parshas Vayechi, Rashi quotes Vayechi Yaakov. So Rashi writes in the beginning that Yaakov, the Torah says that Yaakov promised that his children take him to Eretz Yisrael right away, and he was concerned either that they'd make an avodah zarah out of him. As we all know, people like taking a dead Jew and making them into an idol worship, because when you're alive, people can't put words in your mouth. When you're dead, they could say anything they want. Or another reason, more mystical concept, that when Tchias HaMesim comes, bodies are gonna roll to Eretz Yisrael, so it'll be very painful. So if you're in Eretz Yisrael, you'll alleviate the pain. Or Rashi quotes a third explanation, because he didn't want to be affected by the Makkah of Kinam. The Kinam go in the ground. And the question is, what is the Kinam? I thought the Makkahs only happened to the the Egyptians. So we see, perhaps based on a Rambam in the Peirush HaMishnayos, who writes the Makkah of Kinam applied even to the Jews. And Rav Nissen Alford explains that because Kinam was a Makkah on the Adama, on the ground. And the message is to teach us, no matter where you are, even if you're in Goshen, it's still Chutz La'aretz, it's not Eretz Yisrael. And therefore, the Makkah of Kinam applied, albeit on a much lower level, but it still affected the Jews somewhat. So either way, we see that Yaakov demanded to be buried in Eretz Yisrael right away, and they acquiesced. So why didn't Yosef demand to be buried in Eretz Yisrael right away? Because he didn't have the same power. When Yaakov was doing it, Yosef was assistant to Paro, so he still had some political power and ways of getting it done. But when Yosef already was dying, he realized that Paro won't let them go, so he at least promises that his kids should take him out, his grandkids should take him out, his descendants should take them out whenever the Jewish people get out of Mitzrayim. So that's what we see. So Vayikach Moshe es atzmos Yosef. So Moshe is fulfilling the will of Yosef. Finally now, years later, that the Jews are about to leave Mitzrayim, he's taking them out of Egypt. And the Gemara in Sota tells us from Mishlei, Chacham Leiv Yikach Mitzvahs. The wise of the heart to grab mitzvahs. So the Gemara in Sota, Daf Yud Gimel Amid Aleph, writes that while the other Jews were busy taking the bizoi, the gold, the silver, the booty from Mitzrayim, Chacham Leiv Yikach Mitzvahs, Moshe Rabbeinu was taking the Atzmos Yosef, was taking the bones of Yosef, because he wanted to do more mitzvahs. In fact, they point out at the end of Moshe's life, he was given the mitzvah of the Arei Miklat, separating special cities, that someone who kills someone unintentionally has a place to hide. So he was able to separate, to be involved in the mitzvah of this Arei Miklat, city of refuge. Why specifically that mitzvah? So the commentators point out, because Moshe really related to that, and he felt a strong need for it, because he himself was in that situation. When he was stuck in Mitzrayim, after he killed the Egyptian, he was on the run. Everyone was looking to kill him. He had no place to hide, so he realized the importance of someone on the run, at least to have some temporary spot or permanent spot to actually stay in. As the halach is, as long as you're in the Arei Miklat, one is safe. So it says Chacham Leiv Yikach Mitzvahs. Moshe Rabbeinu was involved in the mitzvah of Atzmos Yosef, while everyone else was involved in Bizroi Mitzrayim. So the pasuk says, "Vayikach Moshe's Atzmos Yosef." Moshe took the bones of Yosef. However, if you look in Parshas in Sefer Yehoshua, in the book of Joshua, which follows the 5 books of Moses, we get a different story. It says, the pasuk in Yehoshua gives credit to Bnei Yisrael, and Bnei Yisrael carried the bones of Yosef out of Mitzrayim. So we have an apparent contradiction. The pasuk in Beshalach says Moshe Rabbeinu himself carried the bones out of Mitzrayim, and the pasuk in Yehoshua says the Jewish people carried the bones of Yosef out of Mitzrayim. So which one was it? So the Chazal tell us, the Medrash tells us, so if we were there and we had a video camera, we had YouTube, kosher tube, then what would we see? We'd actually see physically Moshe Rabbeinu took the bones of Yosef out of Mitzrayim. Chacham Leiv Yikach Mitzvahs. However, the Gemara, Chazal are telling us a different principle. So let's say there's one person who begins a mitzvah, and there's another person who finishes the mitzvah, completes the mitzvah. Chazal tells us, when we learn out from this episode of Atzmos Yosef, the one who finishes the mitzvah gets credit for not only finishing the mitzvah, but gets credit for actually beginning the mitzvah as well. That's why the pasuk gives credit to the Jewish people. Of course, Moshe Rabbeinu physically took the bones, and I'm not saying he's not getting any schar for it, but pasuk gives credit to Bnei Yisrael to teach us that the importance of a closer. We all know that from all those who follow baseball, we know the importance of having someone to come in and closing off the game. The Yankees probably wouldn't have won all those World Series if you didn't have a good closer. So we see the closer plays a very important role, and that's where they get it from. They got it from Chazal. Chazal tell us that it's the one who starts a mitzvah that's nice, but the one who finishes it, not only they get credit for finishing it, they get credit for everything. And we learned that from Atzmos Yosef. So that's the famous Chazal. However, there seems to be an apparent contradiction, because the Gemara, we say in davening every day, Mizmar Shiar Chanukas Habayis LeDavid. B'nai Ashkenaz, we say the Mizmar Shiar before Baruch Shamar. Sfarim say it at another time, but everyone says it. We attribute the Beis HaMikdash, the Chanukas Habayis, the temple with David, to David. That we give credit for David building the temple. So the Medrash asks, what are you talking about? I thought we just finished saying the one who completes the mitzvah gets credit. We all know the facts of life, that David HaMelech, he started preparing it, the certain parts that he built would never be destroyed, but basically he got everything ready. It was his idea, and he began it. But we know it was his son Shlomo HaMelech who completed the Beis HaMikdash. Or so we should say Mizmar Shiar Chanukas Habayis LeShlomo. What do you mean Mizmar Shiar Chanukas Habayis LeDavid? It should be Shlomo. Because so we see from here that the beginning, and the one who begins the mitzvah, that's the great reward. So how do we reconcile these two different sources? On one hand, from Vayikach Moshe's Atzmos Yosef, even though Moshe took it out, but the pasuk in Yehoshua credits the Jewish people. So we see the one who finishes the mitzvah, he gets credit. On the other hand, we find in davening, Mizmar Shir Chanukas Habayis LeDavid. David gets credit for beginning and not ending. This parenthetically, there's an interesting Ramah by the Yamim Noram. The Ramah discusses that an interesting minhag, a custom, that one who leads slichos in the morning, he should be the one to lead the davening. And presumably Shacharis and Mincha. It's a discussion, what about the night before Ma'ariv, because he's not doing slichos for the next morning, but that's not our issue here. But the Ramah says that the one who leads slichos should be the one leading davening.